Good evening, lovely viewers, and welcome to another episode of the Pulley Show. My name is Fabian Collins, and today we're going to be having a wonderful conversation with somebody I respect so much. We're talking about strategies for winning the post-COVID war. Strategies for winning the post-COVID war. You must have already seen the flyer. Thank you so much once again for always being a part of the show. And as we promise usually, it's going to be an amazing time. You're going to learn a lot. We're going to learn what you can do as a young person to up your game, what you can do as a young person to strategize and put yourself together to succeed when this whole thing is over. The society is just beginning to reopen. Things are beginning to get, back to normal, but it's not going to be the same way things were as at the time before the pandemic. Things are going to be a lot more different when the society finally reopens. So we're looking to tell you and educate you on things you can do as a young person to keep yourself, ahead, to give yourself an edge, right? An edge as a young person, so that by the time everything returns back to normal, you are strong, you are fit to take on life without fear of, losing out on anything. Then before we start, I want to apologize for the lighting. I'm so sorry, right? There'll be light soon. I'm so sorry about that, right? There'll be light soon. Okay. It's usually not like this. You already know. So I know you must have been wondering what's happening today, Fabian. Don't worry, everything is going to be perfect. So trust me. Okay. So Mr. Joseph Emmanuel, welcome to the show, sir. Welcome to the show. I'm so happy to have you here with us. Welcome, sir. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Fabian. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
All right. So guys, Mr. Joseph Emmanuel is a very passionate youth advocate. In fact, when I was talking about him on my WhatsApp yesterday, I said his passion is so intense, he can literally rub off on anyone who is around him. If you stay with him for 2 minutes or 5 minutes, you're always going to get a spark, right? And he's one of the persons, that we call him speed dial. When you call his number and you are looking to find your footing as a young person, you're trying to take on new things, and always call him, and then he'll be the one to put you on and all that. So he's an amazing guy. He's also into customer service training and forex trading. His passion for this cryptocurrencies stuff makes me wonder if I am actually not doing left behind. So to the show.
Thank you.
So this has been a long time coming. This whole meeting, I know that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I said this has been a long time coming, the whole show. I know you've been really busy and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of very glad that you could make the time to join us today. So what were your first thoughts when you saw the topic, strategies for winning the post-COVID war? What were your thoughts and how did you respond to it?
Okay, strategies to winning the post-COVID war. I must say that is you really took time to carve out that particular topic. Understand? It seems you were on my mind because let me say, starting from the lockdown, since during the lockdown, this has always been the thing that is always on my lips. This has always been the thing I've been saying. This has always been the thing I have been saying. What will happen after the pandemic? What will happen after the COVID-19? So when you talked about this, when you showed me the topic, I was just smiling. I was happy. I'm actually the one that is going to be on this particular segment, so that I can pour out my mind to the young person out there that is watching today. So
thank you very much. The topic itself, when I looked back at it, after crafting it, and then I did not just craft it because I wanted to sound good or sound like the youthfully lead person. I crafted it out because it's something I feel we need to know, something I feel we need to talk about almost every day. I know John Obidi hosted a program, Reinventing Yourself for the New Global Economy and things like that. We know that the economy is changing drastically.
Yes, yeah.
Everything is changing. The skills required to stay employed, stay relevant right now is not the same as what was needed 5 years ago. In fact,
Sure.
it devastated a whole lot of businesses and then a whole lot of individuals, and so many investments crumbled, right? This
Yes,
is what I'm
sure.
looking to talk about all that. So I want to start from um, uh, we said strategies for winning the post-COVID world. Let's start with the reality of this pandemic. What has it really done?
Okay.
What has it? How has it affected, especially the youth now? How has it affected us, and what has it, caused? Because if you don't know the problem, you can't solve it. If you don't know that there is a problem and you don't recognize that there is a problem somewhere, you can't even start solving it. So, what has this COVID-19 really done to affect the youth, sir?
Okay, Fabian. You see, recently I was in a chat with my mentor,
Okay.
and we discussed over some things, and this was one of the things we talked about. This COVID-19 has two sides. Now,
Mm.
let me start from the positive side. I don't know if you've observed that the way the young persons are reasoning, let me just say, a certain percentage after the COVID-19 or during since the COVID-19 started has changed. What I'm saying so is, before the COVID-19, there were so many persons that were very, very ignorant about what is happening on the online space. They didn't
Mm.
really understand what is happening. You see, you get to introduce something to them, you try to bring them into something, and they didn't understand it. But lockdown came, bah, everybody's eyes is open. You
Yeah.
understand? So many persons now are being very intentional about their life.
Yeah.
Some persons really understand that. So actually, in this life, there can be a time where you are restricted from going out, you are
Mm.
restricted from meeting with people. There can be a time where you are restricted from doing your business, some certain business. And
Yeah.
they also realize that, they also not know that there are some persons that even with this, they are not really affected.
Yeah.
Ah, ah.
Sure.
A friend of mine was telling me, with all the COVID-19, you are not scared and the rest of that. I was telling the person, how will I be scared? My activities are still running very
Mm.
well. Apart
Mm.
from few things that I am being affected, but I'm not as affected as others. So some persons are very intentional. They had this eye opening, and they are now very intentional about their life. They they get to embrace other things. Some
Yeah.
persons get to understand that, oh, this kind of skill, if I have this kind of skill, um if I have this kind of skill, I can actually be doing this. If I have this kind of skill, I can actually be staying in my house and I can actually be doing this particular thing. So the positive side of COVID-19 is that, to Nigerians, I'll say to Nigerians, the positive side of COVID-19 is that COVID-19 has been an eye opener.
Yeah. That's good.
COVID-19 has actually been an eye opener to so many persons
Yeah.
to embrace new opportunities. And at the other side, the negative side too, is that some persons didn't really prepare for it. Actually, nobody really prepared for COVID-19. So it has shut down a lot of things. Businesses, like you said, the school, slow down some processes. There are some persons that really had plans of graduating this year, but because of the COVID-19, they can't. Traveling, some engagements, some programs that were supposed to happen, and COVID-19. The negative side is that it has really shut down those things. It has really shut down those things. Those things couldn't happen. Some people that had trainings outside the country, some people that had actually programmed that, okay, maybe at this point I'll be through with this thing, they couldn't achieve it. And some businesses, like you say, I am also working in a hotel. So
Yeah.
some businesses were affected. There are some businesses that no matter what, um you can't operate it online, because you need people to be around. You need the presence of people, like hotels. when people are inside, people can't travel. People can't go for businesses. People can't travel from like Akwa Ibom State to Abuja and the rest of that, or from Abuja to Akwa Ibom State and or Kogi, Edo State. And some of these people that have businesses in these places, they stay in hotels. You get, so those hotels get to suffer. Understand me?
Yeah.
So it is a two-way thing. It is a two-way thing. But my earnest happiness is the part of being an eye opener to so many persons to embrace what is going to happen in the future.
Yeah. Speaking of eye-opening, one of the most devastating effects of the pandemic is the unemployment rate that has increased. The unemployment rate has increased. In fact, there was a story of a banker, I think with Access Bank, that lost his job just a month to his wedding. Just a month to his wedding, he was planning it, and then he just got the pink check. Say we don't need your services anymore. That can be very, very disheartening. I mean, you've been there all these years, and then unemployment just stares in the face, and then you're not even ready. In fact, the last time you probably updated your CV was like 2 years or 3 years ago, so you don't even know where to start from, right? So, according to Microsoft's calculation, it said global unemployment in 2020 may reach a quarter of a billion people. Quarter of a
Okay.
billion people. There was a post
Yeah.
by a Indian newspaper that unemployment in Nigeria may reach 45%. In Nigeria, may reach 45% by December. That is really, really heartrending. In fact, the thought of it, if 45% will be losing jobs by December, that means jobs are not really safe anymore, right? It will mean that
Yeah.
jobs are not.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
what are your thoughts on that?
Fabian, you see, at this point, COVID-19 only came to fasten the process of people losing their offline jobs.
Offline
Understand?
jobs.
COVID-19, yes, COVID-19 only came up to fasten that process. Let me tell you, if at all, like normally, I was in a training, and in one of those training, a speaker said something. Said, "I give it 10 years from now, that so many jobs which people are doing today would be done by robots." And some persons are like,
Yeah.
how serious, how could it be, like that? But that is the truth. COVID-19 only fastened the process. It only speed it up. You
Mm.
understand my point? But it is something that was expected. Okay, at the side of which people lost their job, have you also put it into consideration that so many persons too got jobs too during this COVID-19 period?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the problem is that the problem there is that the jobs that were given to people during this COVID-19 period, we didn't have let's say we have less people taking jobs that are meant for more people.
Yeah.
I don't know if you understand me. Now, let me give you an insight. What happened, a friend of mine, the sister was actually writing for over between 7 to 9 companies. She had to drop.
Wow.
I begged her, like, you need money. And she was like, I'm tired. She was like, she had to drop. You know why? When we talk about this is a girl I saw when she started blogging. I saw when she started content writing. You get, I did a program in I did a program with Root Hub while she was doing a program with Start Innovation Hub. Then I think that was 2 years ago. And it looks as if she was playing. It looks as if she was joking. She was still in school. But when this whole pandemic thing started and the rest of that, so many companies launched online. So many companies started building their profiles online. So many businesses, they needed to stay relevant. They needed to put up their face online. They needed to show up online. And they needed experienced writers, for an example, like that. And she got offers.
Wow.
You get my point? She got offers, and she was even tired of getting offers. There was a particular offer I had to send to her, right? And she was like, "Joseph, please, at some point, I want to upgrade my skill. I have a professional exams to write very soon, so I can't still take more of these jobs." You get my point? So I'll say the point of which people lose jobs. Sure, in the hotel where I work, at some point, the when the management sat, I'm part of the management, we deliberated on dropping the workforce. And I had to beg with the management too, because I understand how this thing would be. I understand how tough it would be for some for these people that would be dropped, definitely. So I had to rather plead for a cut in the salary. You understand? Rather than drop some set of persons. At least if you were earning 20,000, for example, paying you 15,000 naira, or paying you even if it's half of your salary, 10,000 naira, because the business is not moving, paying you like half of your salary would even be better than dropping you. If you drop these people, they get back to their house, what are they going to do? And even after COVID-19, they have to go back to still look for jobs. You get my point? So the thing is, the COVID-19 just came to fasten some of those jobs that were supposed to be lost in the next 10 years, in the next 5 years. Okay, Fabian, are you with me? I think network is bad. Okay, I think the network is bad, Fabian. Okay, so like I was saying, the COVID-19 only came to fasten the process. So it has the negative side, it has affected so many persons. We know statistically, it has shown that so many persons has lost their jobs. So many persons has lost their job. I think your network was bad. Something
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. I'm so
So
sorry.
yeah, no problem. It's okay. So many persons has lost their jobs. It affected everybody. But trust me. There are some places you go to. I have a video on my phone where um in a shopping mall, understand? And I think it's an eatery. The food you order for, you are being saved by a robot. And a friend showed me a video in, I think in Dubai, where robots is saving food. You understand me?
Wow.
So in the next, see, Fabian, this is 2020. Trust me, in 2025, there are so many places you walk to and you will not see anybody.
That amazing things are happening. Things that will
Yes.
shock people. So my mentor was saying one of those days. He said, the place we think is a city now, the place we stay that we think is a city now, will soon turn
Okay.
to a village that we dread going to because we have refused to advance.
Yeah.
Alongside
Yeah.
the rest of the world, things are happening. Many countries are taking up so many things to ensure that this pandemic doesn't leave them behind. You know, John Obidi
Yeah.
said the COVID-19 pandemic did not happen to us, right? It happened for us, for our
Yeah,
benefit.
yeah.
But
That's why I said like that for us. If you look
mm,
at it, that for us is the eye opening.
yeah,
Pandemic happened for us to know, for us to understand that the future is here, that things are going to happen. Then now you see, you have to key in and know that this thing can happen again. You understand?
mhm,
Pandemic only came to let us to understand that, man, this thing there's going to be a revolution and
yeah.
things are going to happen. So how prepared are you? That is what pandemic came to tell us.
Mm. That's just you can't really appreciate something or see the value of why you need to do something until you lose certain benefits.
Yeah.
As a youth growing up, one of the things that can devastate a young male, a young female, is when maybe you come back to the house and sitting down and then maybe your mother just comes and says, she just says it passively. That food that is there is for your brothers, so just eat it. And it sounds very, 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 very okay the way it is, but you are not supposed to care, right? you're not supposed to be here. And then maybe you're asking, I need money to barb my hair, I need money to do this. They'll be like, did you give you money last week? Or so when things are not taken from us, when this kind of things don't happen, we might not necessarily see reasons why we should move forward. And so we can say thank God for the pandemic in a way. We can say thank God for the pandemic in a way, because it was even during this pandemic that I launched the Youth Pulley.
Pulley, yeah.
Yeah, so June 3rd, precisely. There's some reasons why we could, start this and then, serve the youths with information that will help them accelerate their ways to the future. Right. So the next question I would like to ask, let's start with before we go to the strategies, the general strategies and all that. What are those things we should be learning right now? Those things we should be learning. I don't know if I should ask that or I should ask about the strategies first. Because
okay. You can ask anyone.
Let's talk about the strategies. Let's talk maybe from there we can extrapolate. What are those things we can do to prepare for the post-COVID war? Because it's the reason why I said it's a war is because it's going to be very, very brutal. In fact, like Charles Darwin said many years back, he said it's going to be survival of the fittest and elimination of the survival of the fittest and elimination of the unfit. If you're not ready, you will be left behind. If you're not,
you'll be left behind. Sure.
You don't have what it takes. Nobody's going to look at you. Nobody's going to spend. In fact, if they spend a minute or two to be to say sorry and pity you and then move on, nobody cares what you went through or how you did it and how you. It's only the only time you care about that is when results come. So
sure.
There's going to be a whole lot of craving for skills, craving for attention, right? And it's only those who have what it takes that will be in the limelight. Those who have been preparing before the time, preparing behind the scenes. So, sir, what are those strategies we can adopt right now as young people to prepare ourselves for the post-COVID?
You've just mentioned one, and that is the first. You've just mentioned one, and that is the first. You see, when we talk about strategies, so many persons would always want to come and complicate things. Just like let me just liken it to trading, in forex trading.
Okay.
I trade forex, and sometimes you see people would want to trade forex with so much indicators. Their whole chart will be clouded with indicators, drawing things up and down, making it look. You look at it and like, forex is very difficult. What's all this one? Why is the whole screen so dark and everything? No. Some persons will always want to make some things look very difficult. You get me? But you know me. I don't like making things look difficult. I go straight to the point and show you how it is. I'm a technical trader, and with that, when I'm trading the forex market, I am more concerned with my technical analysis. I keep my chart clean, just using some of my technical tools and few drawings on my chart, and I keep my chart clean. No clouding your charts with indicators and the rest of that. So there are some persons you ask about strategies, and they'll be like, they'll bring up so many things. My brother, first, the strategy to winning this thing is preparation. If you have not been preparing for the life of 2025 before now, prepare. You know what? I'll put it to you, Fabian, that the Youth Pulley show came as a result of what you've been preparing before now. Even when you didn't have the intention of putting up a show like this.
Sure.
You see, most of the things we do in 2020, we didn't learn it in 2020. You get me? We prepared before now. I tell people that the things I learned today, sometimes they are not always very useful to me today, but sometimes in the next 2 years. You understand my point? So as a young person, the first point of direction is preparation. I love what John Obidi always say. He said, treat life like a how did I always call it? Eat from different pots. You
Yeah.
understand? Eat from different pots. Go. He said he started with this. He started with web designing, this, and now he's into this. He has done so many things, and man, that if he tells you the kind of work he has put in, you will not believe. And he did not start in 2017. It did not start in 2018. I think he said he started teaching online in 2017. Teaching online in 2017 did not mean he started in 2017. So, in order not to cloud everything, I'll say the first strategy to win this war is preparation. How prepared are you? If you know you are not prepared, then prepare.
Yeah, I think what
Is that?
I think what Jonathan said was treat like life like a buffet.
Like a buffet, yes. It's from different pots, and you don't know the one that will taste better in your mouth. You understand? Prepare. And one of the easiest way to prepare is to read. Hey, read. You know, I love what Ben Carson did to me in 2000. And Ben Carson did something to me in 2012, 2013. Sorry, I can't forget it. I started my ND program in 2012, and that was around October 2012. And in 2013, I met Ben Carson, not physically. You understand when I say I met Ben Carson through his book. You understand? Through his book, Think Big, and he said, yes, Think Big. Yes, he said there is no wasted knowledge. No knowledge is wasted.
Yeah.
This was somebody that was assumed to be a dummy.
Yeah.
You understand me? But because he was forced to read, so he didn't want to read science, he didn't want to read art, so he was reading toys, reading cartoons, reading things. He finished reading some set of books, and he moved to reading rocks and the rest of that. Not only in that class that day that he discovered that nobody knew the kind of things he knew. You understand my point?
Yeah.
And he was surprised. Now the thing is, so if nobody know the kind of things I know, I am not actually a dummy. Which means if I should put more time to learning other things, it means I can beat these people that things that they really know well. That was how Ben Carson escaped and become the famous Ben Carson we know. That encounter alone that made him to that he believed, that he saw that actually through reading that he can actually come up top, made him to be the Ben Carson we know today. The other experience in his life, like how he controlled his anger, but trust me, reading has a way of preparing you to any life. See, I had anger issues. Definitely, I was a very furious person before now, but through reading, I was able to subdue it. Now, somebody will say, "What are you reading?" I was just reading. I read books. I read my pastor's books, and that was how I got some gift of the Holy Spirit that helped me to subdue my anger issue. Reading is an encounter. It helps to prepare you. And do you know the funniest thing? When we talk about this preparation, there are levels to this game. You cannot attain a particular height when you've not reached a certain height too. Do you understand my point?
Yeah.
For an example, in your preparation process, which I want to talk about, like reading, if you don't have good knowledge, there are some conversations you will not be able to keep.
Of course.
And when you are able to keep conversation, or let me say, if you are not able to keep conversation, there are some people you will not be able to have around you.
That's true. That's true.
I became friends with Fabian Collins because I started reading. I improved myself. Fabian Collins loved what he saw in me, the kind of information I can give. And through that, me and Fabian Collins were able to interact. And also, I understood how to treat people well, understood how to subdue my anger, how to behave very politely with people when I read John Maxwell's book that says winning with people. many years ago. I think about 6 years ago or so.
Mm.
You understand? Winning with people about 6 years ago, and that has helped me to keep my relationship with Fabian Collins. I won't be on the Youth Pulley show today if I didn't understand what it means to win with people.
Mm.
You understand the point? So the first thing, the first strategy is put something on your head. That's
Yeah.
the thing. Prepare. Put something. Even the Bible says it.
Study to show yourself approved, Abby.
That is it. That is it.
There is
The
it.
Bible says it. The Bible says it in different places. Study to show yourself approved. And he talked about for all that get knowledge. Is it get wisdom? You understand? So in different places in the Bible, it is being stated there. Even when Jesus Christ was being tempted, what was his reply? For it is written. Somebody that have not read cannot tell you, for it is written. It is somebody that has actually studied and read that can actually say, for it is written that man shall not live by bread alone, for it is written. You understand? So reading has a way of preparing you. When you read, you understand that what is happening today in the war, this COVID-19, that so many persons saw it, that there will be a time where jobs will be taken from people, and there will be a time where some persons will be having conversation on the media like this, like on Facebook, on Zoom, and the rest of that. And now you sit down to ask yourself, okay, now I've gotten that information. So what is my next step?
Mm.
You understand? And that is where we go to the second strategy. Okay, you want to say something?
I was going to say that most Nigerians are blinded by this whole maxim that has become a reality in our lives. If you want to hide something from the African man, put it in a book. So I listen to most youths say things and they'll be like, I don't like reading. I like doing every other thing, but reading is boring. Reading is for you to read. We're talking about your life here. Right? It's like a marathon. This marathon. It is right now. So people are going to be running past you, but the aim is not even to maybe get there first and all that. Just keep moving.
Yeah, sure.
And reading helps you achieve that. It is as a result of what you know that you can take steps in different aspects and facets of your life. As a father, as a husband, as a manager, whatever you are, wherever you are leading. In fact, people want to associate themselves with those who are knowledgeable in certain things. There was a time I was researching about this job, operations management, and it was said that in South Africa, operations management is the second most difficult job. Second most difficult in South Africa, and it's widespread all over the world. Second most difficult. Why? They said it's because the role is very technical. So many managers, are sacked. So it's not as a result of even your CV now. It's about how you can predict the future. How best you can forecast
forecast what is going to happen. Yeah.
Doing all those things doesn't just take place. You're not just born with the gift. You're not just born with the gift. You have to read. So
you have to study.
Quit giving the excuse that you don't like reading, you don't like studying and all that, and you're maybe asking yourself, where do I start reading? Start somewhere. You see anything, read. You see anything, read. Just read something and be intentional about it every day. Keep adding value to your life. I said something some time ago. I said you're not a success when the results start coming in, right? You're a success if you slept a better person than you were when you woke up in the morning.
Yes.
So definitely. Right? You're a better person than when you woke up because something has been added to your life. Something you've exposed yourself to something by listening, by reading, or by watching something, and it has added value to you. So because success is just like little drops of actions added together. Right? So by the time you keep doing it, by the time it's like 2025, let's say 2021 or 2022, whatever the year, you have realized that you have accumulated so much information that can help, that can give you an edge, in life and all that. So that's what I was going to say about reading.
Do you understand the principle of daily 1%?
I think I don't think
Okay, now let me tell you my principle of daily 1%. This is the
Mm,
principle that has been working for me. You understand? People say, if you are working to be 1% better than your previous self,
mm.
in 10 days, how many percent will you be better than yourself, your previous self 10 days ago?
10, sir.
Eh? That's
10%.
10%. How many days do we have in a year?
365 days, sir.
Then how many percent, if you are working on 1% to be better than your previous self,
The
one
result, the
percent
result
daily,
is astonishing,
the
sir.
result will be crazy. That is what, see, that is, let me tell you, Fabian, I slept past, I slept around past 12 yesterday. I woke up by 3. And since past 3 a.m. till now, I have been awake. Understand me? I woke up by past 3 and I started reading. I have a book to finish before the month runs out, and I still have a very large volume, but I have to make sure I finish that book before the month runs out because I have books lined up for me to read. The book I'm actually reading now is GoPro by Eric Rowe. Eric Rowe, yes, you understand. And I have another book. The next book I want to read is Never Eat Alone. Understand
Ah,
me? So
yeah.
you understand. Now I have different books to read, and I have to make sure I finish these things. So there is this, once you understand that you have to be 1% better than your yesterday, man, you would sit up. You will be 360, nothing less than 350% better than how you started the year.
Mm-hmm.
So if you do like that for 2 years, people will look at you and they will feel, God, what is happening to this guy? I've not told people my story. Do you know
Mm,
that this person talking to you is one of those boys that were sitting down at the back of the bench in the school? In my
mm.
class, I was not rated, but now I can't go to my class reunion in secondary school, and I'm not given the opportunity to speak.
Mm.
You understand me? I would definitely, when they see me, they are like, man, people see me and say, you've changed drastically. Like the kind of things I see you do, when they listen to me, they say, man, how did you start? Is the principle of 1%.
1%.
And what I tell them is that you've not even seen anything yet.
Mm-hmm.
That is it.
Pushing it. Yeah, somebody said, it was Denzel Washington said that you're doing a lot more doesn't mean that you're getting a lot more done. When I first saw that, I sat back and like, what I meant by that is you might be thinking you're busy doing things, but you're actually doing
Yeah.
nothing. And that is
Nothing. Yes.
a form of distraction. You're doing
Yeah.
something, but it's not what you're supposed to be doing at that moment. So
At that
practice
particular time. Yeah.
of 1%. Make sure that you're intentional about the value you add to your life. And by the time you look at the accumulated value, it has compounding value, right? By the time you're looking at it,
Definitely.
something amazing. And so the second strategy, sir, what do you have for a second
The
strategy?
second strategy, I'll say, after you have, I just want to give 3 strategies today. The
Okay.
first one is the read, and the second one is skill upgrade.
Yeah.
I love this thing John Obidi always say. I by now you should know I follow John Obidi a lot.
Yeah.
Understand? John Obidi, that thing he said, eat from different pots, treat life like a buffet. You never knew which one would be sweet in your mouth. Skill upgrade is a typical example of that. Now, there are some persons that had this offline mentality. I want to do this. My job is actually offline. I don't understand what you're saying online and the rest of that. But now you've gotten to that point where you got an information. It's not all about studying to have an information. It's what are you doing with that information?
Yeah.
Upgrade your skills.
Mm.
Upgrade your skills. If you were a salesman, if you were what will I say? If you were a salesman, if you were a baker, or if you were into
So,
laundry or whatever, what do you do? Are you a content writer? Upgrade your skills. Not just upgrading your skills. If you can add another skill to the skill you are upgrading or the current skill you have. You understand?
mm.
I have this I have this principle of making sure I try to add one tangible skill to myself every year. That is always my birthday gift. Understand me? That has always been my birthday gift for the past 3 years.
Noted, sir.
Is either I buy a course I've been willing to do from somebody, or I go for a very serious upgrade on the skill I'm actually on. Trading forex as it was a birthday gift to me 2 years ago. You get me? Trading forex was a birthday gift. This year, I actually did cryptocurrency. I understood cryptocurrency, but I said no. If I want to go into cryptocurrency, I have to also understand the dynamics of cryptocurrency, everything about cryptocurrency. This year, I bought a course on cryptocurrency, not just one course, from two different people. Two different people. Let me say, two top guys from the industry. One of them is Chrisani. Understand? Anybody that understands that is into the crypto market will tell you that Chrisani is one of the top guys in the crypto market. So that was a birthday gift to me. My birthday was July. This is August. Already I prepared. Before that time, I try to get it. If I can't get it before that time, on that day or just a few weeks after that time, I get it. Because I always remember these are things adding value to my life. The first one was I went for customer service training with a company. I paid, not my company paid.
Yeah,
By the grace of God, by the grace of God, I work as a supervisor in a hotel, but I have grown over time. My story in the hotel was that I started as a person that cleans the compound, sweeps, wash people's car. But over time, you understand, I went for a customer service training, and that has really helped me over time. I'll always brag and tell people that there is nobody I train when it comes to hospitality business that will not do well. Even in the office, when I train them, you see people who come and say, I love what you do, guy, I would love you to work in my own hotel. You understand what I'm saying? It is because when you are intentional about the things you want, you will always get it. So it's not all about having the knowledge. Upgrade your skills. Upgrade your skills. Okay, now Fabian had the knowledge that he can put up a thing like this. I remember you going for a training. I think you did a training on content writing, something like that. You understand? I know. I remember something like that. You did a training. You were trying to upgrade your skill. There are some people that are naturally good writers, maybe because they were good literature students in school, but that would not take you too far. If you know where you are going to, you need to upgrade that skill. You need to look out to the big boys in content writing. You need to look out to them. What are they doing? Are they only into content writing? There's what they call how do they call it? Sales copy, writing of sales copy, copywriting. You understand? Copywriting is another game entirely, where people like Dan Lok dominate. You get the point there. So it's not just okay, I'm just writing content on Facebook and people are applauding me. Aha, you can write too. Oh, I like your work. So you stop there? No. Can somebody pay you? Can somebody pay you up to 500,000 to write content for them? The kind of content you are dishing out currently, will it make people to pay you up to 500,000? That is where you go for skill upgrade. You try to upgrade your skill. Which field are you now? What are you doing? Are you a teacher, content writer, graphics designer? What are you doing? Can you upgrade your skill? Yes, you can. So when you understand that this is not the highest peak of your business, or this is not the level you are supposed to be, that there are other people that are doing very well, and you too, you are going far with this, the next strategy is to upgrade your skill. Go for skill upgrade. So that is the second strategy.
Amazing statistics. Over the next 5 years, it is estimated that The global workforce can absorb around 149 million new technology-oriented jobs.
Wow.
149 million new technology-oriented jobs. So most times when people say I'm not a techie person, I don't like anything that has to do with
I
computer
don't.
programming, it doesn't just sit together. Also, people say I don't like the social media. Sometimes I some of my friends, right, I just observe the way they treat social media. They just come, post pictures, and then they are off social media. And
Yeah,
even
yeah.
it's, if you don't understand, you still don't understand the power of social media at this time. You don't understand that the social media, the online space, is meant for
The
you
internet.
to build
It's meant for
influence,
you to show up and let people know what you can do.
all those things. Show yourself, put yourself up as somebody that can be reckoned with. If you don't still understand that, and you still treat social media as somewhere you go to just have fun, basically, then there is a problem. So the jobs that will be having years from now, they are technology oriented. You have to
Sure,
do
definitely.
something like in the technological world. You already know of the abbreviation STEM: science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Those four
Okay.
branches are the ones controlling the world today: science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. If you're not doing mathematics or engineering, do find something in technology, right? And as I talked about skill upgrade, what you know now is not enough.
And I think they'll need to add something to that stamp. You understand?
Cryptocurrency,
Science, technology, science, technology. What did you
engineering,
say?
mathematics.
Okay, yes, science, technology, engineering, mathematics, and art. Definitely. No, don't take it out. They need to bring in art too. Art is another place too, so they need to bring in art too.
So,
So
but you
continue, yeah.
get the point. You can't afford to rest on your laurels, so just sit in your comfort zone, right? I
Yeah.
know we all have this darling course that we read in school, this darling gift or skill that we have. We feel it's enough, but trust me, if that is the only thing you're doing, I know banking always says, if you don't have up to four streams that I'm
Of
sending
income.
you're not ready. You're not ready as a person. So you must be willing to diversify, learn new things, go out of your way to learn something that
Yes.
you feel uncomfortable. Like right now for the usefully, I at some point when I discovered that we needed to be designing things, and right now we're still looking out for graphics designers that will be willing to join us. And the first design I made was not too bad. But it was not too good either. But the second one, the second one I made, the one of last week when we talked about love, when love is an
Yeah.
everything, makes no sense. I designed that flyer. When I look back at it, I'm like, this is something I don't think I would have done like years back. But there is so much demand for it now. Graphics
Yeah,
designers
yeah,
are
yeah.
big time, right? Making it big time. So even if you get one right now, they're not talking about 15,000, 20,000 naira with you. No, they're not having that kind of conversation. How will they even start it? Please, would you help me collect 20K for? No, they're not having that conversation with you. So you must be willing to upskill to a point where you can place a particular price on yourself, on your service, on the things you offer. Some people cannot negotiate salary and say I want 200K. Negotiate their pay and say they want 150,000. Not because there's something wrong with the price. There's nothing wrong with the price, right? But there is everything wrong with how they see themselves. They don't see themselves as deserving of that amount, and
Even
that's the thing. When you're not reading, you're not preparing, you're not scaling up, you're not adding so much to yourself. You can't know your worth, right? So
uh,
by the time you do all those things, you won't even know when your confidence has taken off, gone up. So when somebody is bringing in salary, and they say, "Okay, let me collect 30K," they know best.
but,
So, we're not.
Fabian,
So
let me tell you something. Something just came into my mind now. You know, by God's grace, I have been a person that I love learning. When I understood the power of learning, the power
mm,
of not just learning, but to learn, unlearn, and relearn. When I
mm,
understood that, I have really been taking it very serious. Then on so many live calls like this, when I watch people say maybe they are hosting people, maybe let's just say Ubon King is talking and John Obidi, the likes of Joyce Meyer, both international, John Maxwell, Eric Thomas, and sometimes they get to interview somebody, maybe Grant Cardone and the rest of that. And one of those days, you see, they bring some people to the show, and you see somebody says, they offer me a job of $10 million, and I rejected. I said, no, I don't want to do. I'll be like, what? They offer you $10 million and you're rejecting. Okay, coming back to Nigeria, there are some people that will say they offer me a job of like 150,000. They told me to work with 150,000, 200,000 some years ago, and I rejected. I didn't want to do it. Fabian, do you know what? Let me surprise you. I rejected an offer of 95,000 naira last week.
Wow.
Yes, I did. It was not no CV, no application letter, nothing. The person was just like, if you're ready, you start job. Like, if you're ready, as the company is launching, I am the marketing manager, you are resuming with me. Like, sir, sorry, I need to go think about it. When I was saying I need to go think about it, the go think about it was like, okay, I need to leave your face, use the phone and tell you, sorry, I can't do the job. Because when I asked for the job specification was an offline job that I'll go in the morning, come back in the night, come back in the evening. So it's time demanding. Yes, so many persons are looking for this job. I was like, okay, can I recommend somebody? He said, no, I need you. I need you. I was like, oh, sir, how? And this is somebody I was training in Forex. You understand? He came in from Lagos to Uyo, and I was training him in Forex. So when he got to understand me, when he got to understand the kind of things I can do, when we've been discussing over time, I never knew this man was reading me, listening to me. He would ask me questions on different things. Sometimes after our class, we'll sit down to talk about business, the Nigerian economy, and the rest of that. So one day, in that course of discussion, I was like, man, Joe, I've been discussing with you, and let me tell you, I'm not just in Uyo to learn Forex, but there is this company that is coming in, and everything is being set. He showed me the blueprint, everything, the company's location, everything. He made me to see it. It was like I'm the one in charge of recruitment for marketers, and in fact, it was like I'm the marketing manager in that company, and I want you to start that job with me. All you need to do is say yes, and I give you date of resumption. Salary 95,000. It's like, man, this man, which kind of wahala with this one now? But the truth about it is, Fabian, I can tell you on this call that I rejected that job. You understand? Sometimes when people come to a call like this, a live session like this, I was always feeling like there are times that they'll say things that it sounds too good to be true. You rejected it. How? You know, some people watching this this live session now will be like, this boy rejected 95,000 naira job. How? I don't understand. When at this point, when people are looking for jobs, even some people in the bank are not being paid up to that. Man, but I rejected it. When you understand what you are doing, to be very honest with you, I told you about my friend's sister that is rejecting jobs. I'm not joking. When you understand what you're doing, the jobs will come. Offers will come. Do you know how many times, in terms of speaking engagement, do you know how many people reject speaking engagement, even with good offers? But the point is, they can't just take that particular one. There are people, my boss, my mentor, the person that taught me Forex, my mentor has rejected so many collaborations with top guys. I'm talking about people that are coming with funds. But once the thing does not meet with their standard and meets or aligns with what they want to do, no matter how sweet or how good looking the offer is, they will definitely turn it down, because they know it's not all about the money, but they have a direction, they know where they are going to. There are some money you collect now and stop it from fulfilling purpose. So you know, there are some money you collect and it will stop you from doing the kind of things you are doing. And when you understand when you understand where you are going to, you know that there is a kind of salary or money somebody will give to you today that you don't want, and you know that you can get you can get 100x of that kind of money in
Yeah.
just in a little period of time. So why are you rushing over nothing?
Yeah. So sir, the conversation is getting really intense, and I'm loving it. But we have to. It's like we've taken time. So sir, in 3 minutes, what's the last strategy? You said you had three strategies for
Okay, the last
reading,
one is implement.
implement.
Yes,
Mm.
implement. See, in a world of so many knowledge or so many information, some people just get the information, store it, and they don't do anything about it. I'll use you an example as an example in this. You got first stage, you started from the refining yourself by reading, you understand, by trying to understand let me just not say reading, getting more information, putting gathering knowledge, and you also went for skill upgrade. I know before you started this, you've actually learned, okay, how should I be speaking online, what should I be doing? I know things like that happen. You were like, okay, how can I be speaking online, what should I be doing? Okay, how should I be writing? Okay, what are the things I'm supposed to be doing? What are the topics I'm supposed to come up with? Those fall under skill upgrade. You try to upgrade your skill. And the last thing you did, let me not say the last thing, but the next point of action you did was implement. And that is the youth poly we have today. You took action. You jump into action. You said, okay, I've gotten this information. I've brought this thing to paper. I have the blueprint of how the youth poly is going to move. Okay, now what is left? I have to strike a deal. I need to start the youth poly. That is implement. There are so many people that have so many information, and the only thing that is drawing them back is because they have not made that move. You understand? So many
Yeah.
persons have not made the move. Let me tell you, somebody can work with you, stay with you, get very close to you, live with you in the same house, and he knows everything you know, but the
Mm.
person is still very, very scared of making a move, of implementing the things you know.
That's as true as the gospel. That's as
You
true as
understand
it.
me? So,
Yeah.
so, so the three strategies is the last one here on this call today is implement. In
Implement.
fact, there are some persons watching us today now. They understand what they are supposed to do. They know what to do. They know how to step out, but they have just refused to step out. I want to say to that person, just go out, step out, go
Mm.
out and implement those things you know. Some
You know,
persons know how to do things. Some persons know how to write. They
yeah.
understand. They are very good writers, but they don't just want to start writing. So implementing is the third strategy. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much, sir, for this amazing information you've dished out to us today. You did not just give us the information, you used your life as an example, cited instances, and we are very, very grateful you were able to do that. So, final words to you out there, watching us right now. Look, life is more or less a battle, whether or not you like it, whether or not you accept or believe it. If you don't do what you're supposed to do, nobody's going to send you. Be
Yeah,
vigilant.
sure.
Nobody will send you. Nobody is. In fact, if you're a guy and you're looking to meet a lady, the money may not turn them on, but the vision will. Your vision will, the prospects, everything you have in mind. Because the truth about prospects and visions and goals and preparation and reading is it there's an aura it oozes out of you when you've been in the secret place, and that secret place you've been with God, and then you've been reading, you've been preparing yourself. By the time you're out there, from the way you speak, to your poise, to the kind of friends that are around you, people just know exactly that this one is going to make it in life. So that
Yeah,
that's just
sure, sure.
just the way it is. So don't go back and then rest on your laurels. Don't just go back and sit down and then hope that things get better. Things will only get better if you start doing things right. Right? Things will only get better when you start doing things right. So read
The
widely, reader, and
the
you want to say something, sir?
yes, there is this favorite quote that is always circulating online by Jack Ma.
Mm.
Says that he talks about that there are so many persons out there that are not as better as us doing and making it more than us, like a kind of, they are not better than us, but they are doing more than us, and they are making it more than us. They are making more money than us. They are creating more impact more than us, not because they are better than us, but because they just decided to start. They just decided to implement. So implementing is a very, very big strategy. Starting, you don't just jump to start. If you follow these three process I have given today, you understand, you get the information, you prepare yourself. Second, you go for your skill upgrade, you upgrade your skill, and the third one is launching. You understand? That launching is the implementation. So you launch, just like the rocket. You have to prepare the rocket, make everything, prepare the rocket, then you check for everything, that everything is set in the rocket. That's like the skill upgrade. Make sure everything, all electrical things are being set. Okay, what should we change in this rocket? What should be done to the rocket? That is the skill upgrade. Then the third point for that rocket to move is for you to launch it. That launching is the implementation. So that is it. If you follow these three steps, definitely you will get it.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. So if you have any questions, you can always direct them to, us at the Youth Pulley. I'll be glad to answer the question. And also, if it's something you want to refer to our guest, I'll send it to me, and I'll make sure the answer comes back to you. So thank you very much for staying with us up to this time. I know we've gotten to 1 hour today. Last week, I think we did 57 minutes. So, it's been worth it. It's been a worthy 1 hour, right? So thank you very, very much for staying with us. And I want to sincerely apologize. The lighting, again, I'm sure you would have been saying, Fabian, you said the lighting will come back now in the beginning, but it is what it is. And we can only get better, right? We can only get better. It's just one of those things we have to go through at this point. But I know that a time will come when we'll be, looking back on
you need to tell somebody about your story. You need to tell people your story. Like this when I started the Youth Pulley, this was how I did without lighting and the rest of that. If you don't have things to tell people, man, it will not be sweet. you need to let people understand that this thing was a process. We didn't just get there.
Thank you so much, Mr. Joseph. Thank you so much, our viewers.
Thank you, Fabian.
So much, and looking forward to seeing you next week, Wednesday. Next week is going to be a new week, new month, I guess. Yeah, new month, September, right? And is the first Wednesday is going to be dedicated to personal development. We're taking on something that I'm sure is going to be of benefit to you. So next thing before I round up is if you're not on the Youth Pulley broadcast list, you can always say hi to me. Drop the comments, and then I'll add to our WhatsApp broadcast list, and then be sending you contents daily, because so many contents have been posted, sent out daily, and then I've been receiving so many testimonies, sometimes in voice notes, sometimes in messages, and sometimes, like the one we sent out like 2 days ago, somebody specifically said, wow, you're speaking to me, thank you very much. And these are the kind of things that are very satisfying. So when these things go up and then they're able to add value, it makes us feel as though we're doing something. So if you're not on the WhatsApp podcast list, you can drop your comments, say hi on the comment section, and then I'll add you. All right. So thank you very much. Until we come your way next week. My name is Fabian Collins, and this is the Youth Pulley Show. Bye.